I love it. Hi.
It's the Krisha and Frank Show. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
It's Newsday Tuesday.
Newsday Tuesday.
Because everything is new.
Yeah.
It's the same, but it's different. It's, now we're actually looking at ourselves.
It's really weird.
In a whole new way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there too much of us?
No. There's always too much of us, but there is too much of us. But no, we invested in ourselves.
Well, let's do all the things.
Yeah,
Speaking of investing in ourselves, let's welcome you to the Krisha and Frank Show. You can find us, of course, on YouTube because we're talking to you as if you're watching us on YouTube. Mm-hmm. But you might also be listening.
You could be listening, and that's totally cool because I listen to most podcasts. I only watch two or three.
That's a lot of them.
I know.
Oh, wait, what?
I only watch 2 or 3 podcasts.
Yeah.
But I listen to more than that.
And we've heard from so many of you that you're torn. Do you watch? Do you listen? Do you don't know? And then we make some silly joke that forces you to go find your YouTube and watch because that sight gag was just so great.
And also, if you are a listener and you like to listen to things, you can go to audibletrial.com/Krisha and Frank. You get a 30-day free trial. You get a free download that you get to keep forever and ever. And it helps us too.
Speaking of helping us too, we have an exciting new logo and merchandise now.
Thank you to Feral Giant, Jody Collins at Feral Giant. He worked tirelessly.
Well, he had to put up with us.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean, tirelessly.
Anytime you get an email from me, you know it's going to be tiring.
Yeah.
Because I'm exhausting.
And so he worked in our new logo.
Would you like to, I Dream of Genie it to us?
Bring. Look at that.
It's just gigantic. It's
yeah.
We were deciding merchandise the other day, or Krisha was.
Oh, yeah, because we have merch.
And you can find that at teespring.com/stores/Krisha and Frank. Mm-hmm, but don't worry, there. The links are in the description of the audio and video podcasts. Mm-hmm. But as you were toying with sweatpants.
Some joggers.
It struck me as funny because we ended up not doing them because no matter what you did, the arrow in the logo was always pointing at the wrong spot.
Right, because you don't want the show to be in that particular place.
Yeah, and if you have an issue with size and you're embarrassed about that area,
you don't need a laser shooting it on in there.
This classic motel arrow pointing right at you.
But can we show the design that I made?
Yes.
After the inauguration.
What is it?
Bernie waiting on her show.
Well, then we may as well talk about poor Bern, because my wife was cracking up.
Have you seen all of the memes?
Well, there's one apparently that only hardcore musicians would understand. So she and Frank Jr., Jerry and Frank Jr., are looking at this Bernie meme, and he's seated at a piano bench, and there's some sheet music on it. Mm-hmm. And whatever the name of the piece is, the title is something like 4 minutes and 15 seconds is the title of the piece. Who's it by, Jerry? Oh, she left.
Yeah, she was gone.
Well,
after you put her to task.
What is it?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh, don't worry. Oh. All right. Well, anyway, it was on Classic FM's
yes.
Facebook page, and Frank Jr. is showing it to us on FaceTime, and the two of them just start laughing hilariously, and I'm like, I don't get it.
I don't understand.
I don't get it. And they said, well, if that particular piece is silent. The musician comes out and sits at the piano bench and sits there and does nothing. Well, doesn't it? No, it actually turns the page every so many measures of silence. And so they're getting a Bernie sitting there like that.
Oh.
So we're laughing about it. And Jerry said, to start that whole conversation off by asking me, aren't these Bernie Mac memes hilarious? And I said, I do always get those two confused.
Yeah.
And that started Jerry on this hysterical laughter.
Bernie.
Where she had to jump up and run to the restroom. Because
it happened.
We did love Bernie Mac so much. We went to see his movies. We watched a TV show all the time.
Bernie Mac has one of my favorite jokes ever, which is catching his daughter sneaking downstairs.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "I'm getting milk and cookies." And he was like, and she looked at me like I was short. It's one of my favorite of his stand-ups ever. I love Bernie Mac.
So that was funny because she immediately she knew it was Bernie, but immediately went to Bernie Mac because we were such big Bernie Mac fans, and it was fun.
Did you see that his mittens were actually made by a school teacher? And in Vermont, and
really?
She knits all of these mittens, and there was a whole thing going around of people trying to buy them, and it's like sadly they're not for sale. Like she's no longer selling them, but apparently she used to have an Etsy shop, but he was gifted them, and there he was wearing them,
and no one can buy. Everyone wants them. Yeah. No one can get them.
Oh, it made me so happy because it was the quintessential dad, just like, come on, let's go.
I mean, I didn't even the first time I saw it, I didn't even recognize him because he just looked so old and ornery and uncomfortable. And I thought, why would a person be sitting cross-legged like that?
So good. It's so perfect.
In public at the inauguration. Everything about it seemed weird. I didn't even realize the first time I saw it that it was from the inauguration because I thought, he's not even wearing the right coat.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It made me so happy. But you can't get that particular thing in our merch store, to circle back around. But we have T-shirts, we have tote bags, we have coffee mugs. We have all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, the coffee mugs, I got notified. I bought 2. And I got notified that they've been shipped, and we should have them next week. Yay. I think next week. When's February?
Face masks.
Yeah, those will come in handy for the on-camera.
I'm still going to work on the joggers. I'm going to figure out how to make those joggers to where it's not pointing, because I want some.
They also had yoga pants, and I don't know how I feel about our logo splattered across someone's yoga pants.
Well, I mean, I could wear them running and advertise for us. I mean, you'd have to do this to see it. It would work eventually.
Where to get a perfectly, not that we need to. We don't need to get a stabilized shot of your rear end running.
No.
But the new camera that we bought with the fabulous donations and advertising dollars,
yes,
would be able to stabilize, and I could tell it. Not that I would never, but I could tell it to do motion follow of an area.
Right.
And if I told it to follow that logo as you went running down 10 Mile, I mean, the problem is I wouldn't be able to keep up with you, so...
Just me getting further and further away.
But so thank you to all of you guys who have sent us donations to our PayPal.
Yeah.
KrishaandFrank@gmail.com. And I'm talking to you, Tanya Cinnamon, and Aaron Campbell, and Jay Fox, the Fox That Rocks. You guys know who you are.
Yeah. And our sponsors... like
Hutch and Howard and Bone Zones and Steve's Tree Service and the Middleburg Barn.
Yeah, and all of that has helped us, and we're moving on up, and we're super excited about it.
Now we're still here sitting at the same place because we got that going for a while, but once the weather's nice.
Yeah, we'll be back on the porch. I was actually hoping that we could be back on the porch because it's going to be it's 60s.
Oh.
It's 60s, but then, so it's 56, 57, 64, now it's raining, now it's gloomy, now it's raining, now it's 39.
Yeah. Well, it's January still, and I mean...
I'm done. I'm over it.
You are?
I'm ready for spring.
Well, see, I think I'm worried about this because, they taunted us, Mother Nature taunted us with the White Christmas. Got us to, in our minds, think that now winter is done, over, right. Had our snow, didn't interfere with anybody because we had a holiday.
Yeah, you said something the other day. It's waiting for a Krisha birthday snow.
I don't want that to happen. But everyone says every March you get that reminder from somebody the one person who managed to survive the blizzard of 93.
I did. I was 13. My mom was in the Bahamas.
You were 13?
I was 13. My mom was in the Bahamas, and we were staying with my grandmother.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, it's going to snow. So my grandmother, who was in her late 70s at the time, said, nope, we're going to your Aunt Celia's house. My Aunt Celia lived on a farm in Maryville. And when I say she lived on a farm in Maryville, she lived on a farm way out.
Like Huff Corn. My friend Greg Huff, he's got the corn farm.
She had this beautiful house. So we went there, and they had a wood-burning stove. And thank goodness they did, because we didn't have power for 11 days. And I remember eating beans and drinking hot chocolate and thinking it was the coolest thing until I got yelled at for trying to flush the toilet.
Wow. I can actually tell you, I remember also where I was during the blizzard of 93, and it's a much shorter story. I was in Studio City, California. In fact, I was on what's called the CBS Radford lot. Ooh. And Jay Thomas, who I worked for, Jay Thomas, the morning DJ, was recording an episode of his sitcom with Susan Day called Love and War. And I'm in the audience in the Jay Thomas's seats. He's got, wherever they put his ones, not comps, they're all free. But he had held 2 seats. And it's me and this other DJ called the Grease Man. And I mentioned the Grease Man a couple of times, and I say that for those of you in the DC area or any of you hardcore radio fans who know the Grease Man had just moved out. He talked like this. He was a parody of DJs.
Makes me hurt.
I know, but he would overdo it and parody the Boss Jocks. He would make all these noises with his mouth. Well, anyway, he and Jay Thomas were friends, so I get to meet the Grease Man, or I guess I met him once before.
What part of this story is short?
Oh, none of it. And so we said to each other, "Hey, Grease Man." He's like, "Yeah, Frank. Did you hear about that snow back east?" "Yep."
Cool. I think it's very short.
You know, in a snowstorm,
Yeah?
bodies don't decay as fast as they would during a hot summer day.
They definitely don't. I feel like that was a very pushy segue to talk about bone zones. Bonezones.com. Don't forget the S.
Bone Zones with their... I'm enjoying my Bone Zones cup. Do you have one too?
I do. I haven't put water in it yet.
Well, you want to put something harder in it? I got the whole
I might need to. Whoo, buddy.
liquor cabinet over there. Bone Zones is where you get the autographed merchandise from our friend Dr. Bill Bass. You can get books. You can get cups. I don't think he'd autograph the cup unless you asked him to. I mean, I suppose
it would probably
could.
wash off.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I would instead get an autographed picture and maybe then a T-shirt or a tote bag or a challenge coin, something you can have as a memento.
And I'm on my 4th book of January right now.
Yeah.
And I want to go back because I read all of the Jefferson Bass novels a long time ago when they first came out, and I want to go back and read all of them again.
I've started doing that as well, and it's knowing stuff that happens in the future. It's kind of funny to go, oh, I remember this character. Oh, I remember this person. Because they're like in these 3-book arcs. This kind of the way that works out. So a lot of the characters show up for like 3 books, and then there's kind of a reset. And the next 3. So I what? I know. Thank you for breakfast. It was delicious.
I just wanted to point it out because I always get in trouble for it, and you did a very good job suppressing
I tried to
it.
stifle because
what did you call it the other day?
It's I said it wrong. It's an eructation.
Eructation.
I think is what it is. It's when you burp. So go to bonezones.com. Don't forget the S.
And thank them, and thank us, and thank you, and thank them, us, you.
Yes.
Again, thank you.
And burping is called eructation. So a burp is an eruction, or to burp is to eructate.
Eructate?
Eructate is to emit stomach gas noisily through the mouth.
That sounds like a made-up word.
Eructate?
Eructate.
It kind of reminds me of the time when they wouldn't let us say sucks on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I told you this. So we're doing a Redskins versus Broncos in the Super Bowl.
Right.
And
you couldn't say Super Bowl.
We wanted to say Denver sucks, and they wouldn't let us. They got mad at us. So I came up with the idea to let's look up the dictionary definition. So we said that the Denver Broncos draw liquids into their mouths by creating a partial vacuum with their lips, cheek, and tongue.
That's perfect.
And it became a catchphrase.
Much more fun.
It was much more fun, and listeners would call in and say, "Oh, and by the way, I want to mention that the Denver Broncos draw liquids into their mouths by creating a partial vacuum with their lips, cheek, and tongue."
Yeah. I made up a word.
Oh, you did.
I did.
We were because we have so much gear now, including the new camera, including different microphones.
Yeah. So we were measuring.
The tripod,
right? Because we're getting gig bags, so we can carry it around, so we're not just carrying things in our hands.
We went on an adventure.
We did,
and we realized that we're just ragtag.
Yeah,
we're very ragamuffin, but we needed to do one and get one under our belt in order to realize, we do need a different camera, and we do need a different microphone, and we do need a bag.
Yeah, so we ordered all those things, but we were trying to make sure that the tripod would fit into the backpack, and you went and got a measuring tape, and I said, let's test its length.
I said, longth? What is longth?
It's how long it is, and its length. It's longth.
That's not...
Longth.
It wasn't a word until now.
And then we talked on and on at longth.
We did. And it became our new favorite word.
Longth.
Why is longth such a wonderful fake word?
It's so great. I really want to keep that word, longth. It's in the Urban Dictionary.
No. Oh my God.
I just had to pull my whole shirt over my head.
Because I thought it was like heighth. People make up the word heighth which is...
Don't Urban Dictionary
No, do not.
longth.
Do not, under any circumstances.
I mean, we're not in Australia.
No, it doesn't
Maybe
count.
somebody's listening in Australia
Because
and
in Australia...
they are giggling.
It's gross, stinky, or putrid. So we don't want you to see anything that is gross, stinky, or putrid.
No, and it is bad. That's
Can also be used to describe...
Oh, yeah, something else.
I know, I guess I have to
just
click
imagine.
on it now.
Oh, you've clicked on it.
Oh, a person. But it's not, it's an insult. So
Right.
apparently longth is a big Australian insult.
Is it?
So we'd like to apologize to any kangaroos, koalas,
We're very
platypi.
sorry.
What else might be listening in Australia?
Well,
Wallabies.
if you have written the tag in the description longth, then somebody's clicking on it. We may get a lot of YouTube views.
It's like the Ted Bundy of Australia.
Oh,
Why didn't I think to look at that ahead of time?
Because it made for really great shock at you and I both.
But we didn't, I mean, I really was so confident that longth was not a word.
Well, it's not a word.
Should I stop saying it?
It's Urban Dictionary, so technically it's not a word.
So
And-
someone else made up a word and used it to describe this putrid instance.
Right.
And we made up a word to describe the length of a tripod.
Right, but I love
was about as
for
big as
some
your arm,
reason
wasn't it?
every time I used it, we would get the giggles.
Yes.
And I would be like, I would keep saying to you, I'm like, oh, it's just the length of this movie.
It's like you're on the phone with me. You're stuck you're at a traffic light saying, well, there's 3 car lengths.
There's 3 car
whatever it
lengths.
is you said.
Yeah. And it's my new favorite word. I believe, and I wholeheartedly believe, that when I was working in radio, I used to say noon 30. And I wholeheartedly believe that I coined noon 30.
It's much more clear than 12:30.
Right.
There's no doubt about it.
I'll meet you at noon 30.
I mean, if you really get into the semantics of noon,
No, that's our old show.
but semantics with an E, if you really were to get into the word definitions there,
Mm-hmm.
really noon is neither AM nor PM
Right. It's noon.
because it's M. The A and the AM stands for Latin, before noon. The PM stands for, in Latin, afternoon.
Right.
So noon is neither before noon nor afternoon. It's actually noon.
So if you say noon 30,
It's very clear.
yeah.
I mean, technically that is PM at that point. It's 12:30 PM, but still.
It's more fun to
I
say
like
noon
it.
30.
I like it a lot.
Eye bones, ear bones, head bones. I say that a lot.
Oh, when you said eye bones, I went another way with it.
I do. I make up. It's not even that I make up words. I just have my own little language for things sometimes.
Well, that's what makes you interesting, too. I mean, it's not, many things make you interesting, but that's one.
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm just saying.
What? You're looking at yourself in the king?
No, I didn't look at myself at all. I was thinking, like, if that's what makes me interesting, then cool.
Well, it's a thing that makes you interesting. I mean, I
Right.
wouldn't say it's the thing. I shouldn't have said the thing.
It's the thing.
That's it.
That's it.
Make up some more. If you don't make up some more words, we're done.
We're out of here.
We need more words. Make up some more of your words.
It is funny though. Now I'm self-conscious because I've been using longth since we said it that day, and
How have your friends and family reacted?
well, I like when I was talking with the kids about it, they were laughing because we were watching television. I was like, oh, the length of this movie, and they're like, what? I was like,
We're measuring
Length.
the duration, and
right, it's just combining long and length,
like height and width
Right.
combines to something.
Width.
Or let's say height. I guess what you do is you add the same ending to width to height as you would to
so is
width.
it honk?
Well, height. People say height, and it's not a word. I'm sure it's become a word. This thing about the English language is like the Borg. It will assimilate
Yeah.
any
Prepare to
foreign word that
assimilate.
it needs. It will assimilate any new made-up word that it needs if it expresses something.
Yeah.
I watched this movie about a dude writing the old, was it the Oxford English Dictionary?
Oh, it sounds riveting.
Surprisingly, it was.
Okay.
Because he was a self-learned man, and then people at Oxford are like, you don't even have a degree.
He's like, don't need
It's
one.
like, I read all these books, I know everything. And it turns out he does know a lot. But the task of creating a comprehensive dictionary of the English language was too overwhelming.
Right.
So he decides he's going to put, like in the day pre-social media, he puts it out there. He puts a flyer in every book in every bookstore saying, please send us your words.
Okay.
And people start mailing in words. But the one person who it really resonates with is Sean Penn plays a madman in an insane asylum. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't just send in a word. He sends in thousands and thousands of words and apparently writes a good chunk of this dictionary.
Whoa.
So it's called The Professor and the Madman. And
Oh, see, now I would like that.
yeah, it was good stuff. So Mel Gibson is the professor, Sean Penn is the madman, and it was an unusual. I never ever thought I would see the two of them in the same movie.
No.
But they play off each other, and it's very good.
All right, so there's your movie review for.
I should know where to find it. I think, was it Netflix? I think it might have been a Netflix original.
Let me like Netflix. Yeah.
I mean, all I got is Netflix and Amazon Prime, so it has to be one of those two.
One of the two.
Those are the choices.
I have too many. I need to cut down.
Oh, I guess we have PBS Passport.
Ooh, I do too.
So I have three.
I love PBS Passport.
Yes, yeah. I watched all of All Creatures Great and Small in a week. I blew through the whole thing.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
All right, well,
let's wrap it up.
We got to go watch TV.
Yeah. Actually, you know what we have to do? Today is the day.
Oh, yeah, we're emceeing some fun goodness in Pigeon Forge.
Wow, Pigeon Forge?
Pigeon Forge.
They want us?
They
Pigeon
do
Forge
today.
wants us to come and MC their Chamber of Commerce Awards luncheon?
I got to find my ball gown.
Well, we'll do that. And we'll be back here with another Krisha and Frank show tomorrow. Thanks so much for supporting us with our new merchandise store.
Yes, Teespring.
And thank you for subscribing to the podcast on any of the audio apps or the video version, the vodcast.
The vlog. No, we're not really blogging, but
That's
we're
why
vlogging.
This is a vodcast.
Vodcast.
So when we sit here just talking, it's a vodcast. When we go to that place with the thing,
now that's a made-up word.
That's a vlog.
Vlodcast.
No, well,
Vodcast
is a video podcast.
Right, it's a made-up word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Podcast is a made-up word.
Podcast is a made-up word.
Well, if you need to know the length of our vodcast, look. You can just look in the corner of your YouTubes. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if you click on that logo, it'll take you to the subscribe button. Lovely. All right. Thanks so much.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.